How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the three trades that I took on NQ. First two trades were losing trades. The third trade was a nice winner that brought me to a small positive overall on the day. We'll take a look at those three trades before we jump into that. Just go over some of the levels I have on the screen. So, green level is yesterday's high a day. The blue levels are all derived from the 8-hour bid-ask volume charts. I have an indicator that shows the point of control for each 8-hour candle. I map these points of control when we have clusters of them or multiple points of control from multiple 8-hour candles in the same area. I put significance on that. We kind of just marking out these levels, and the reason why I use this for my levels is that price action respects them very well because they represent liquidity. Price moves from areas of high volume to low, or from areas of high volume to other areas of high volume, because it's seeking the liquidity, right? And it moves between those areas through low volume. So those are opportunities to take trades level to level, right? If it's holding above one particular level and it looks bullish, the assumption is that it's going to the next level because of liquidity. And it happens to work out pretty well. So the blue levels are all from the 8-hour bid-ask volume spread, point of control. And then these levels here, you see this yellow level and these two orange levels. This orange level happened to kind of coincide right with the bigger blue level. That's fine with me. What these represent is the overnight session from after hours to pre-market. So that overnight session, it represents the value area high, the value area low, and then the point of control of that session. Once again, this is all just volume based on price. And this helps me gauge strength or weakness. Particularly today, you see that we broke above outside of this value range, came down and held it. I took my winning trade off that. We'll talk about that in a second. But whenever price is outside of that value area, you can see a imbalance to the buy side or to the sell side. When price is within this value area, you expect it to kind of oscillate between these levels: value area high, point of control, value area low, etc. So those are levels based off the overnight session volume profile. Let's get into it. So that's what I was watching today. Let's break it down on the 15-minute. So 15-minute, we see yesterday's price action, right? We got a big move up, kind of had a double top, and then fell over the overnight session. In the pre-market, however, we bounced and we started to make higher highs, higher lows, right? So we have this high, swing low, lower swing high, lower swing low, lower swing high, lower swing low, lower swing high, lower swing low, etc. Right? That's a classic downtrend. You have a series of lower lows, lower highs. But in the pre-market, around 5 a.m. my time, we hit a bottom. We hit a bottom, we round out, and what do? This is the first swing high. We break above that swing high. We set higher swing highs, higher swing lows, right? So higher highs, higher lows, and that's the form, kind of the situation that we were in coming into the open. So disregarding all the levels, if I took all the levels off my chart, what I would watch is, all right, price had a big move up, started to trend down, broke out to the upside. It's looking strong. It's broken that downtrend, and now it's reversing. It's starting to form higher highs, higher lows, which is an uptrend. Coming into the day, I was bullish. I wanted to see us break above this level, this 570, and break and hold and see a move up to 650 or so. That's inevitably the winning trade that I took. But we'll get to that. Coming in the day, I had a bias to the upside. I was kind of looking for long opportunities. So the market opens. We have news 15 minutes after it opens, so this candle, and 30 minutes after it opens, so this candle. So didn't take any trades kind of that first 30 minutes. Wanted to wait for the news to come out before I took any sort of position. After the news, we fell. We held this 500 level really well, came up and started to respect that point of control. I'm gonna pull up the 1-minute chart because this was a big determining factor and how I treated this trade. Let's take a look. All right, This is what we're looking at. We're looking at this price action in here, right in here. So when we came down and we held that 500 level and came up towards that point of control, I entered too early. So I always want to wait for a 5-minute candle to close for my confirmation. I entered this on this 5-minute candle here without good confirmation. Once we broke above and we started to pull back, I entered. We had a nice hold on high volume, kind of declining volume as we pulled back. We're still respecting that point of control on 2 consecutive candles, so I got in. However, this was a little bit premature. As that 5-minute candle closed, it closed pretty weak. And I was watching the volume profile of that candle. We'll have to back this up a little bit. All right, let's take a look. So the volume, the point of control was kind of right around where it closed, which tells me that it pushed up, pushed down, closed, and it's kind of balanced, right? It doesn't really tell me a whole lot to the strength or to the weakness of that candle. My stop loss was 20 points. I entered right at 530, so my stop loss was like 510. First take profit was 30 points, so 560 up here, and my second take profit was 40 points, so 570, this level right here, which I ultimately wanted to see us break above and hold. I stopped out prematurely here. I just got out. It was a 5-point, or I guess, yeah, about a 6.5 point loss. I took 5 contracts. I stopped it out early. The reason being is because I realized I entered too soon. I didn't have the confirmation that I wanted on the 5-minute. And as we kind of held and then tried to push up, we had this candle right here on higher volume that was really weak. And then we started to sell back down. I just took like a 6-point loss because I didn't feel confident in this trade. I realized I was impatient and got in too early. However, this trade was very profitable. And it's something exactly what I would have looked for and should have taken, but just with more patience and more confirmation, right? Because we get this move up, then we come down and we retest, and we keep retesting this point of control. And we are holding it on nice hammers, just forming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess this one isn't, but 4 hammers after we had held it before. We had broke kind of this little swing high to form a new swing high. We were forming kind of a nice base here. So we're holding on the 5-minute, holding on the 1-minute, everything looking pretty good. Another thing to pay attention to here is on the, let's take a look. On the 15-minute, right, we held that 15-minute. If we look at the 15-minute volume profile of that, right, set up 650, 53, I think, somewhere in there. So if I look at the volume profile of this 15-minute, right, we came all the way down. Where did the most volume happen? Right around that point of control. That's that same level that we're holding as support. That tells me that there's a lot of buying there, right? If there's a lot of selling, price would have broke lower. But the fact that it's sitting down there and just collecting, that means that it's the buying pressure is holding it up, which is good if you want to see a long. Likewise, on the 5-minute, and this is just a smaller, this is just a breakdown of the 15-minute. But what do we see? We see all these points in control, especially this big volume candle that brought us all the way down. Where did the most volume occur? It happened down here around the point of control, the point at which volume or price couldn't close lower than that. Tells me that there's buyers keeping it up there. And then you have following candles where this point of control is right around this 520 area, telling me that if that volume was selling, then we'd be breaking through. But the fact that we're holding this on really high volume tells me that there's buying. So everything was in alignment there. This is a great trade, looking to take it up to that kind of value area high. It's 45, 50 point move, from point of control to this next level. It's about 50 if you catch it exactly. But regardless, it's a nice move. And we had everything aligning. We had price action, we had volume, we had the volume profile. Everything looked nice. I just got in too early, took a stupid loss. I sat this out because I was hesitant. I had just taken a loss, so I didn't re-enter, but a re-entry would have been really nice. From there, I kind of waited patiently until I saw my next setup. My next setup, this is probably my second trade, has been my worst trade of the past 2 days. Let's talk about it. So we broke higher, we pulled back, and I bought a long position here. Reason why I did so is because we had this psychologically hold number 21,600 that we had been failing to break above, right? We'd test it, fail, test it, fail, test it, fail, test it, fail. And then if we look here on the volume profile, what do we see? A lot of volume around this 600 level. If you look around 600, you see a ton of volume in this area, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive candles, essentially, all with their point of control right in this area. So initially, we have a lot of volume in that area and we can't break higher, which tells me that there's sellers present, right? Then we get a nice breakout on good volume and we come back to retest this area. I was thinking that this area would hold as support. I got in once again without confirmation on the 5-minute, which is the mistake that I ultimately, pretty much every losing trade I take can boil down to not waiting for a 5-minute close and being impatient. But I took a long position here, stop loss below these wicks. It came down, ran my stop, and I re-entered. The reason why I re-entered the trade is because it came back to this level, right? It came back to that like 570 level, and to the value area high. It came back, it retested them, it formed a nice hammer. We were holding on good volume on the 1-minute as well. And then we see that point of control here. As we come down, that point of control shifting lower, meaning that, point of control here, right around where the price stopped, then it dropped, point of control in here, price moved down a little bit, point of control in here, price closed above that and held this level. So I re-entered, realizing that where my stop loss was where my entry should have been. Really, that's it. I didn't wait for confirmation. Waiting for it to pull back to this level and print a nice hammer would have been the confirmation that gave me the confidence to re-enter this trade. So I got stopped out, realized that my stop was where my entry should have been, re-entered the trade, same exact idea. When I re-entered this trade, first take profit was 30 points, second take profit is 40, but that's a runner, so that's to kind of move around as I see fit. And I'll talk about why I traded this the way I did. I ended up getting 110 points on my runner, so we'll talk about that. My first take profit was right here. Reason being, it's the same area around that 600 that we had a lot of volume, right? So if price fell and then bounced back up into this volume, I wasn't sure how it would react in there, so I wanted to take profit there, at least my 4 out of my 5 contracts. When we broke above that on increasing volume and we looked really bullish, in price action, volume, and this point of control, right? The point of control is right in the middle. We closed well above that, telling me that that was a lot of buying going on. From there, I set my runner take profit to this next level at 653. As we approached it, there seemed to be no sign of stopping, right? Price just started moving very fast to the upside, and I just started trailing my stop loss below these swing lows on the 1-minute. As price was moving up and up and up, I decided to move my take profit from this level here up towards yesterday's high a day, as that was my next level on the chart. I arbitrarily just kind of placed it at 685 just because it was 110 points more. And it was just below this level. I felt like I was being a little greedy reaching for that. So I didn't put it quite at that yesterday's high. I put it a little bit below, figuring that anything over 100 points was going to make me happy for a runner. We moved straight up and we hit that take profit and got my money back and some. Actually ended slightly green on the day thanks to this runner primarily. So tip of the day from me to myself and to anyone caring to listen is to wait for confirmation on the 5-minute, follow your plan, then enter with confidence, wait for that 5-minute confirmation. If everything else aligns, then take the trade. Too many times the first 2 trades today, I was trying to predict a move instead of reacting to what I was seeing. So don't predict, react. That would have saved me losses, and I would have had an insane day had I avoided those losses, because I was down about $400. I made it all back and some with this last trade, but and same size, 5 contracts on all 3 trades. So it didn't size up, didn't size down, just kept the same size. I'm going to continue to use 5 contracts. The winners should be around $300 to $400. Losses should be no more than like 300. So we're looking at least a 1-to-1 ratio. Ideally, everything's closer to a 2-to-1. So looking for those like 150 losses or so, 150 to 200 loss for a 300 to 400 win. That is the last thing I'll say. The reason why I held this runner so long is price action was showing me, but also look at the price action that we'd had so far. We have these high volume nodes around 600, and then above that we have very low volume. So that made me think if we broke above it as we did here on this nice candle, that there's nothing stopping us from moving up to this next level. And then you see that volume kind of shift up to that next level as you would expect. There's more volume in that area, but as we broke higher, just expect it to go to the next level. And yeah, what did price action do? I guess it's not showing up on this chart, but it went right up to the next level if I apply that. So it broke and went right up to this level and then rejected at 740 and then kind of remained between those, broke above it, and markets closed. But it's pretty crazy. These levels are not based on price action. They're strictly based on the point of control of 8-hour candles, strictly based on volume. And you can see how price reacts to these levels. So aside from the highs and lows, everything else is volume based, and it's working out. If I can just follow my rules, there's a lot of potential in this. So that's it. That's all I have for the day. Came out with a win. I was tempted to maybe continue trading or something to keep trying to have a better day, but I'm gonna stay disciplined. Just take a few trades a day, 1 to 3. 3's more than I'd like. I'd like to keep it to 1 to 2. But I've been having early losses, so I take trades, waiting for better setups, hoping to right that ship. And so far, it's been working. I don't want to dig myself into a hole with that strategy. Is continuing to trade and trying to bring back a loss isn't a good strategy. But I do believe if I find a setup that is good, I should take that. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. Peace.